Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is Thursday, and we are in Selenopolis, chilling, grooving, and just relaxing. So let's get on to the news with obviously the Xbox game preview. As I said before and multiple times, still nothing going on with that. There is currently no update or fix to fix the whole like Hall of Void thing. And of course, they already have the fix, but again, it has to go through the consoles, right? And we talked about this many times. You're just gonna have to wait until it goes through that console certificate and blah blah blah. I think somebody also mentioned in the Discord how they had to wait like 6 months for the Stardew Valley update. I do slightly remember that happening back in the day, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. It should only take like maybe an extra week or 2 weeks. I don't know, but yeah, you're just gonna have to wait. And it's not just an Xbox thing. I don't want anybody to try and start the console wars all over again. No, it's just a console specific thing, you know? With PC, Wizard101, they kind of make their own rules and they can dish out hotfix and updates whenever they want. I mean, heck, we're about to get a summer test run and summer update pretty soon, but whenever it comes to consoles, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox, all three of those consoles have their own certificate process, in which case it's going to take even longer to kind of get those updates out. So, you know. Anyway, let's go into the Ravenwood news because there is a lot of stuff happening, including some stuff to get your wallet out. Over here, I wanted to show this on the Ravenwood news, and this is pretty interesting. This is my first time ever noticing this on their website. But check this out. They have this little icon that says PC, which is pretty interesting. Like, I've never seen that before labeled on the Ravenwood news. And it also says down here during the crown sale, which yes, there is a crown sale. This sale is only available for PC accounts. So, you know, I don't know how much clearer it has to make for you console players. Because I know a lot of people try to like buy crowns and then they're like, no, we can't transfer accounts. We already talked about this over time. But yes, for all you PC players, which is pretty much a good majority of the community, yes, there is currently a crown sale active right now. So make sure to check that out. If you have trouble on what to really buy for your, crowns or, spend crowns, there's a ton of stuff you can spend crowns on. Over here, this was announced today. Through May 18th, we have a throwback weekend, and they're bringing back some gauntlets. The Wintermane Hall, Spiral Cup, and Midnight Sun Pagoda gauntlets are all available in the Crown Shop, 10,000 crowns each. So make sure to check that out in case you wanted to, play around with some of these gauntlets. These gauntlets are kind of iconic. These are really kind of like old school gauntlets, so make sure to check that out. And then if you want to spend even more crowns, remember we talked about that whole Crown Reward event, which is also going to last through May 19th. And we talked about this, it has the 55% speed boost mount, the additional character slot elixir, and some other junk. But yeah, if you just want to check it out, I know everybody loves spending crowns and loves spending money. So again, have fun with that and check that out. Now, over here, we talked about yesterday the potential 8-player raid. A lot of people think that, oh, it might be an extra school. A lot of people don't think it might be an 8-player raid. Who knows? We have to wait until Test Realm hits. Now, this comes in from Jason Firesword, replying with an 8-player raid instead of 12. Probably a good idea, actually. And then Dolphin Fan, a.k.a. my boy Willie, has a really good thread that was kind of talking about raids, and I wanted to share this with you guys. It's a very small step, and more than they've done for the last 3 years to remove arbitrary barriers. I hope it at least reflects an internal acknowledgement that raid player counts are not where they should be. Unfortunately, it will be nowhere near enough. Having to balance the schedules of 12 people, almost a quarter of a guild, for 3 hours was insane. But it seems reasonable when compared to other problems, namely keys, guild lock, and cooldowns. Heck, if those other issues weren't a thing, 12 people would be fine. I religiously participated in the first raid. I had more runs than anyone else in my guild, but unless there's a complete system overhaul, I'm doubtful I will ever raid again. There is too much nonsense in the way that's entirely separate from gear progression and difficulty. And Jason Firesword also says, I agree with pretty much everything here. I think raids should be more accessible. They don't have to be easier, but the barrier of entry has to be lowered. Yeah, 1,000% agree. It's almost like we've been saying that for like the past 3 years. And as fun as raids are, and as much as I miss it, the barrier of entry is kind of ridiculous. Because remember, you have to not only join a guild, but also have to try and craft a key, which, you know, if you're in an active guild, shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially if you have people that are going to help you craft that key, namely with, you know, Monstrology Animus, and also the Azoth that you need in order to really craft it. And that was probably one of my bigger things. I was probably the only one in my guild that was crafting the keys and spending time out of my day to set up an auto clicker and basically just farm Azoth, because Monstrology was super easy for me. I'm a high Monstrology rank, but a lot of people still don't even know what Monstrology is. A lot of people don't even know what Azoth is. A lot of people just don't really do some of these side activities or side contents because it's just a chore. And that's kind of like how I feel about raids. Raids is just kind of feels like a chore, you know? But that's a video for another day, which I've already done multiple guild and raid videos. It just becomes quite a chore. You know, honestly, if they remove the keys, like if you could literally just go in the raid without any making of the key, that would be great. I feel like that would get a more people interested in the raid, but I think the main barrier is just like, you have to join the guild, and then if you leave a guild or get kicked out, you're going to be on the guild cooldown, and it's a whole thing. The guilds are a limited space as well, so I think only 60 accounts can join a guild at once. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just a lot that goes into it. I really do hope more people get interested in raids, especially if it is true that it will be an 8-player raid, or if not, whatever, but you know, I probably still won't do it. But it should be fun. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if we can get any more teasers. And in terms of the Xbox game preview, I will let you guys know if there's any updates. I've literally been checking their Discord every single day, and nothing. So, just waiting on that hotfix or update to come in, so everybody can finally get out of the Hall of Champions Crocotopia thing. It's not even that. A lot of people are also getting stuck on the tutorial as well, so they can't even like literally play the game at all. So you know, there's a lot of bugs and issues with the beta. You know, just hopefully this doesn't reflect on the actual launch of Wizard101 console, because we've seen it happen in PC before, where things will get hotfixed, then a launch will happen, and then all of a sudden the update is a mess. So fingers crossed and knock on wood that nothing like that happens on launch, but I think it should be fine. Just gonna take a lot of work. It's definitely gonna take a lot of work. We'll see what happens, and until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.